Processing the kick and the 808 together is every producer's worst nightmare until you actually learn how to do it. So I'm gonna show you 6 ways that you can do this. Let's get into it. The first thing to keep in mind is to choose the kick and the 808 that will go together, because some of them might compete to occupy the same frequencies. So I've made a very simple pattern. We're gonna look at the frequencies. The 808 is around 46 Hz. The kick is around 82 Hz. So these two might go together well when we use our techniques. If this particular kick would have been in the same frequency range as the 808, it would have been more difficult to process these together. So the first thing to keep in mind is to choose the kick and the 808 that will go together. So the first way to process the 808 and the kick together is to turn the 808 into an 808 plus a kick. Go here. We turn all of these down. We increase the amount and increase a little bit of this. See the difference? Isn't that like so cool? Well, by now you should know that your girl is cool as fuck. So the second way to process an 808 and a kick together is change the envelope of the 808 so that when the transient of the kick hits, the 808 comes in a little bit after that. So let's see how that sounds. So if I just listen to the kick, just the 808, together. So the next way to process the 808 and the kick together is to level them in such a way that the frequencies don't clash with each other. Let's see how they sound. So I can just lower the volume of the 808 a little bit. I personally don't prefer this method because the 808 should hit hard as fuck. The next method to process an 808 and a kick together is to remove some of the lows from the kick. So if we look at the frequency spectrum in both of these, this is the kick, this is the 808. Both of them are competing in the lower frequency spectrum. So if I remove some of the lows, we still have the punch of the kick, which in most of the kicks is around here or here, like the clicking sound. This one is why we want the kick. So we can simply remove the low frequencies from the kick and maybe increase some of the punchy frequencies of the kick. Cool. We are on the fifth way to process a kick and an 808 together is sidechaining. So what sidechaining will do is whenever the kick hits, it will reduce the volume of the 808. Okay, I'm gonna go to an empty channel. I'm gonna put in Fruity Peak Controller. I'm gonna connect where the kick is to the Fruity Peak Controller channel, and I'm gonna choose the 808 and I'm gonna right click on the volume and I'm gonna do link to controller, and I'm gonna choose peak here and inverted here. So what it's gonna do is, let's see, I'm gonna put the bass down. See the volume here? It was here by default. We're gonna get this down. Whenever the kick hits the peak controller, because the volume of the 808 is connected to the peak controller, it reduces the volume. And we can choose how much volume we wanna duck when the kick hits. So there's another way to use a sidechain. Instead of ducking the whole volume of the 808, what we can do is just remove the low frequencies of the 808 when the kick hits and not the whole 808. So how we're gonna do that is, again, I'm gonna have an empty channel and I'm gonna add a fruity peak controller. I'm gonna choose the kick and I'm gonna connect it to the peak controller, and I'm gonna go to the 808 and I'm gonna add an EQ and see, let's see where the 808 is and where I want to duck the volume. Let's see the frequencies of the kick as well. So right here, the kick is hitting right here, and I want to duck the frequencies of the 808 right over here. So I'm gonna get this in here so that I can duck it like this. Okay, so now I'm gonna choose this, right click and link to controller, and again peak and inverted accept. So what it's gonna do is whenever the kick hits, it's gonna, all right, so let's figure out the base of this. And yeah, so what I can do is I can also choose if I want to make the band narrower or broader. These were some ways that you can process the 808 and the kick together. I hope that you learned something from this video, and I appreciate you watching till the end. Thank you so much, and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.